We've been venturing topside for a little over a week now at this point into ARC Raiders. After what felt like an eternity waiting for the game to come, that kind of feels like the quickest week I've ever experienced. I feel like I blinked and we're already into week 2 of ARC Raiders. But today, I want to take some time in the middle of a few large projects I'm working on in the upcoming week here across multiple games. One I'm really hoping I can get out soon here is an all-quest guide for ARC Raiders, pending none of my footage corrupted, my PC doesn't explode while having hundreds of gigs of files in my editing timeline, or whatever the case. But anyways, today I want to take a bit of time to talk about the present and the future of ARC Raiders, because amidst all the chaos of a Battlefield 6, Redsec, and ARC Raiders launch all in the span of 2 to 3 weeks, we actually didn't get around to talking about a big update given to us from Embark about the future of ARC Raiders. So drop your thoughts as we go along. How you feeling about ARC Raiders right now? What are you looking forward to in the future? And what do you hope to see beyond? Let me know, and make sure to subscribe and follow for more ARC Raiders, Battlefield, Black Ops, and even more FPS coverage. I'd love to have you in the community as we chase down 700,000 subscribers together. But for now, let's get into it. So back when the game launched, ARC Raiders initially took off, right? Like, it was received very well. The numbers were popping off on day one. And while we can't guarantee a total player count across Xbox, PlayStation, Epic Games, and Steam, a total number there, if Steam charts are any indication of trend, well, it was a very successful launch for the game, peaking at 350,000 concurrent players a few days after the launch. But what I'd love to see is that yesterday and then again today, the game hadn't lost any steam, but instead gained traction. I clocked it yesterday at 416,000 players, and today it passed 462,000 players concurrently. And again, that's not necessarily a perfect example of the total number of players as a whole in the community, but to me, that's an irrefutable win. Like, a brand new IP with genuinely minimal marketing for the game up until like 2 weeks before the game's launch, and radio silence for the most part from devs over the course of like 5 months from when the game was first publicized with tech tests to when the marketing did inevitably start. That's just kind of crazy work. Like, not to mention, it's a paid game, so it's not even relying on like just word of mouth, free to play, download and try it out, and then not come back to it type of situations. It was estimated the game sold about 2.5 million copies in that first week. I also could not tell you the last time I remember a game having this type of wave of people excited for the game in the shooter scene where the reviews are actually very positive. Like, it's literally rated very positive on Steam. For comparison, other big games out there right now in the shooter space, Battlefield on Steam has a mostly positive rating, which is 71% positivity. Redsec is mixed at 44% positive rating, and Call of Duty is a mixed at 54%. Like, very positive. For context, is a 90% positive rating out of 41,000 reviews for ARC Raiders. Then, to top the Steam sales, even late into the night of recording this last night, being a top-played game at the moment, like, I mean, I think this exceeded anybody's expectations. So unless you're comparing this to like the giants of AAA with storied histories, franchises like Call of Duty, Battlefield, GTA, other big name stuff like that, then sure, you could say it may be undersold, but realistically, I see this as nothing but a win for Embark and the team. Personally speaking, though, I'm just stoked that more people are playing and enjoying their time topside. I think that this has been everything that I had hoped it to be from a community perspective. Waiting 6 months to see this game now come to fruition, where people are having the same aha moments, the betrayals, the funny VoIP interactions. It's just all entertaining to watch, and I'm just happy other people are enjoying it as well. So that's great to hear, great to see that the game is off to a really hot start, and it proves the power of the gameplay experience and taking a formula and putting a fresh spin on it, in my opinion. But what about the future? Well, turns out Embark actually has already detailed that for us. In a news article over on their website, just simply the day after the game launched, they had posted Looking Ahead, ARC Raiders 2025 roadmap, where they said in 2025, this will include an expansion of the Rust Belt with our 5th map, Stella Montis, arriving in November, community events that are special themes in November and December, new ARC machines that will challenge your adaptability and tactical planning, fresh utility items and weapons to expand your arsenal to take out the toughest ARC or rival raiders, new quests to expand upon the storyline and what we have there, and continuous refinements from bug fixes, balance tweaks, quality of life features, and more. And then they provided a roadmap graphic, which actually does showcase a little bit more in terms of specifics from what they had detailed in writing. Like, they mentioned new ARC machines, but we can see that that's going to be the Matriarch and the Shredder. But taking this sequentially here, we will see that the North line is going to be something that releases all throughout November. That, of course, coming along with Stella Montis, that map that we see kind of just like put there up in the corner of our map selection, but we can't get to it just yet. Right now, we don't know how we'll get to it, if it's something that we have to do to actually unlock it, if it's something that is going to be just simply queue up for that and go. A community unlock event is curiously one thing that I'm thinking about right now, is potentially that spaceport bunker, because that of course needs interactions to unlock that, but then also with the buttons all throughout inside that bunker, it makes it feel like there's a puzzle to unlock something there, which I think there were like 7 consoles you have to interact with, that obviously you don't have 7 people in your squad. So that's a community thing if it's something that takes all of those buttons being pressed at once. The matriarch and the shredder, I mean, we have no details on what those will be, but I mean, hey, if it's anything like our higher tier arcs, that's going to be something that is a formidable threat. New gameplay items, showcasing new weapons, new quests. Having done all of these, I'm actually looking forward to new quests and seeing where the story goes. I admittedly kind of thought that the first 63 quests that we have for the mainline quests, they didn't really give a whole ton in regards to the storyline itself. So I'd love to see that expanded upon if that's what actually happens. And then in December at some point, they detailed the snowfall map condition, which I think is going to be just beautiful, honestly. Like, I think, personally speaking, this game, especially maxed out on graphics, looks phenomenal. Like, it's a UE5 game that's actually optimized, which is crazy to come across these days, but everything, I think, cinematically looks gorgeous in this game. So to see snowfall, that I think is going to look beautiful. The Flickering Flames event, we don't know what that may be, whether it's a sort of like burning embers environmental effect like we saw back in the tech test a little bit. And I think I want to say I've seen it in the full launch, but I also could not recall off the top of my head. I just know I have footage of it in the tech test. The Expedition Departure window will open up, so you can end up having that optional wipe. A new Raider deck will be coming, as well as even more quests at that point. They detailed and more, but nothing really about that. So all that in consideration, we're in November, so like, when's this stuff gonna happen? Honestly, this is a total shot in the dark. Like, realistically, no idea, man. It's a brand new IP with no real history to go off of. Like, a game that's so tethered to content calendars like Call of Duty, I could probably pinpoint within a week of a margin of error, like when Season 3's launch of Modern Warfare 4 would be in 2027. Like, that's how regimented that stuff is. But ARC Raiders, there's no precedent. There's nothing that really establishes a pattern just yet, but usually in game dev, a game will have a launch window that is usually unimpeded for about like 2 weeks at least. So anything for content, I wouldn't necessarily expect it this week, but perhaps next, perhaps the week following, just right before the holidays here in the States, if that's a little later on down the line. Now, while the November stuff here is a little bit more, I guess, of a coin toss, one thing that we can maybe consider with some of the stuff mentioned in December actually is tied to I don't want to say hard cap, but a date that we actually already see in game. Designated by the trials ending, it seems like we'll have another major update in 37 days as to when that season ends for trials. So that's when you'll end up getting all of your rewards that you end up accumulating as you climb through the ranks within trials. But that would bring us to the middle of December at that point, which, again, seems to be perfectly in line with what we see for an Expedition Departure window, when we see a new Raider deck come into play if we have an air quote like new season Raider deck. It said that there'll be multiple Raider decks at a time at some point, so maybe there is crossover there with that. But new quests also, and seeing that breaking point coincidentally within the graphic here with that, could be just for the arm, but it also could be something that indicates like a new season in that sense. So if that's the case, we're looking at the middle of December here with this. So all of that leading up until this point, all within about a month's time, that is a lot of stuff to look forward to and get excited for, I think, for the immediate future of ARC Raiders. Not to mention, Embark did say at TwitchCon that this game has a plan for a 10-year content lifecycle. So like, we could just be getting started right now, with 2026 maybe being even bigger for what we see in the near future. But anyways, just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit, again, kind of in between a couple of big projects here that I'm working on, but also still wanted to touch on some stuff dealing for the future that is coming up. Honestly, probably very soon here, the next week or two, we'll probably start to see some more of this stuff. But wanted to fill you guys in on that while also talking about some of the successes I feel like the game has already achieved. Because, like, again, brand new IP, hitting those kind of numbers, I think that's commendable. Absolutely. So anyways, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think here of the upcoming roadmap for the rest of 2025 with ARC Raiders? Are you looking forward to anything in particular? Are you looking forward to what's on the other side of the new year and what 2026 may hold? Let me know. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. Of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things ARC Raiders, Redsec, Battlefield 6, Black Ops, and even more FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community as we chase down 700,000 subscribers together. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care. and peace.